Hey, friends. I want to talk about something that I love to do when I get the opportunity. I don't always get the opportunity. This is something that I do when I am with a couple, two people who are partners or in a romantic relationship, uh, when I'm having a conversation with them. And there's a specific prompt or question that I like to ask them that I feel like is just so connecting. And the thing is, when I am with a couple, on the one hand, it's three people, right? It's like me, a couple. Uh, there's three people, there's three individuals there. But also, in another real and important sense, it's actually a bit like a one on one conversation where I am talking with a dyad, them as a couple, right? When people are in a romantic relationship and a partnership, over time they develop a we that is a dyad, who they are together, what they are to each other, that is more than, that is greater than them as individuals. So in one sense, there are three individual people there, but in another sense, it's me talking with that dyad. And so this is a conversational move that's very connecting on that level where I'm not only speaking with these two other people, but actually really encountering them as a dyad and speaking to them on that level. In some way, this can, I've talked elsewhere about how I don't like group conversations. This is a real exception because I can meaningfully relate to a couple as a one-on-one interaction because they're a dyad, because they have this kind of harmony or integration or unity between them such that I can relate to them as a one, not just a two. Of course, they are two separate people and individuals, but they also have this shared unity that they've cultivated over time through connecting so deeply. So anyway, given all that in the background, what I love to ask these couples is I love to ask them to reflect to me aloud in front of each other what they love about the other person. So if I'm talking to two people who are dating or in a relationship or they're married, let's call them, I don't know, Tom and Alice, okay? I don't know. Tom and Alice, I can be like, I'd love to hear from each of you. Tom, what you love about Alice, and Alice, what you love about Tom, and to let them speak for 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes even about how they met and what they fell in love with about that person and what they admire about that person, why they respect that person, what they care about, to tell me from their perspective the story of their connection with that person and why they love them so much and what virtues they have. And I love learning this information. I love hearing from that person how they see the other person and receiving that information. I love hearing that from both people. But it's also so powerful for the dyad where like they get to hear anew from the other person why they are loved and how they are seen and why they are respected, things that even within that couple they might have lost touch with or forgotten or been hard to connect to because you know your own perspective, but it can be hard to see from the other person. Oh, I provide this ground of safety and well-being that just makes this person able to feel calm and collected and safe and grounded in their life such that they can make bold choices and go and do things that are scary for them and then flourish in their life because they're empowered and enabled to do these courageous, brave things because they have this fundamental safety. Like, wow, I didn't even know that I provided that for that person. Wow. So not only is it a kindness for me to hear from each person about them and to connect with them in that way, but it's also a kindness to the dyad where they get to really share love with each other. It's a love practice of cultivating love for one another, sharing that love that they have with each other, being witnessed in that, receiving that love. And it's incredibly sweet. It's incredibly sweet to spend this time with a couple and spend, 20, 30, 40 minutes or more hearing from each person about what they have to share. And there is a skill to this. I've noticed sometimes there can be a bit of a discrepancy in terms of one partner's capacity to speak in an eloquent, beautiful, moving, honest, authentic way about what they love about their partner. I've had it happen, for example, that one partner shares a little bit and then the other partner shares a bit more effusively. And then sometimes they'll go back and the other partner will be like, oh, I see what this looks like now. Now that I've seen it done, I can do it. I feel like ideally partners can speak at length and effusively about how much they love their partner. And at the worst case scenario, it can be a sign if the couple is not able to do this fluidly and smoothly. But in most cases, when I ask, people are able to really share effusively about how they love their partners and what they love about their partners. And even if they don't speak at length, you can tell when it's heartfelt, and you can really feel it like, wow, this person really does love this about me, even if they're not a poet or, not as long-winded as this Taschen guy. Yeah, like, wow, I really respect them and love them and admire them and look up to them in these ways. And I feel so loved by them. And this is what I appreciate about them. So I will say that's the primary case that I'll do this is with a couple, but it can also be really nice to do with friends. If there's two friends that love each other very much, they're not romantically connected, it works just as well. And that can be really nice if, like, for example, I know one friend really well, but not the other so much, but I'm wanting to get to know the other friend. Like, can you each tell me about what you love about the other and about your story of how you met and what you value in this friendship and that sort of thing. That's another situation, or even like business partners or something like that. I don't know. If two people have a deep connection, this can work really well and being very connecting for any kind of triad or triangle or whatever you want to call it to reflect on the dyad in the larger context. It's most common with romantic partners and, people that are dating or married or whatever. But it works in other contexts as well. And it's just such a generative prompt that's so connecting, where I get to really receive a lot of information that's interesting and nourishing and heartfelt for me, where I feel really touched. And it's also touching for the two people, where they really get to feel the love that they have for each other and the love that is there for them from the other also. And to be witnessed in that, not only to receive it from the other person, but to have a third person witness that and be a party to that and be like, oh, wow, this other person loves that. There's just something so deep and beautiful and connective about this as a prompt. And so I love doing it when I get a chance. It often happens on my pilgrimage, for example, that I'll be staying with a couple or spend time with a couple. And I love to ask them. And it's just such a sweet prompt. And I really learned so much. And it's very connecting as a group for all three of us. So I thought I would share it. And if you try it, let me know in the comments how it goes for you.